Hey everybody, it's Erik with District 82 Pinball. So over the weekend, my Gopher stopped going down. He would pop up, but he would not go back down again. And so I opened up the game, took a look at it. Everything kind of moved freely, but he just won't go down. And so after investigating how it works, there's like a trip lever here that will push him back, and then he drops down, right? So it's like, okay, so what's the trip lever? I could see, all of a sudden I saw on the bottom of the cabinet, there's this little piece sitting down there, and I, examined the end of it. I'm like, okay, it's definitely broken off. Is this somehow part of it? I looked at the other Gopher, saw this little piece, kind of goes in here like this. Looking at this little guy here, you can see it's the same diameter wire. Sure enough, that's what's broken. Now, looking at it, I was like, I figured that nobody would have it in stock, but sure enough, Marco's did have it in stock. I ordered two because I got two Gophers, but only one was broken right now. And if needed to, I could have technically made this. This looks like the diameter of a coat hanger wire. But it was only $6, so it was pretty cheap. And so what I'm going to do is I took it out and I'm going to replace it. So the first thing I do when I look at this is I'm taking pictures. Okay, take pictures of everything. Take a picture of the coils, picture of the nut configurations. Just take a picture of everything in case when I put it back together again, I get lost. Plus there's an opto here, and upon examining, I've never reflowed it. I always just quickly wire brush those, and then I'll reflow the receiver and the transmitting opto just as good measure. I don't hold it on very long on the opto because it's right on it. If you hold your soldering iron on too long, you can burn out the opto. But let's take a look at the next step here. Okay, so my next step is I'm just going to reflow these optos a little bit. Remember, they worked fine. I'm just doing this as like a little bit of insurance because it's very common for these things to get cold solder joints. And as long as I got it out, I might as well hit them. Okay, and my eyes are not as good as they used to be, so I always just look with the magnifying glass, make sure I didn't bridge the contacts at all. Okay, so that's good. So next I'm going to, I'm looking at this coil. Okay, I have to take this thing out to actually replace that wire. I'm looking, okay, no diode. Doesn't matter then which direction that these two wires go back on. The diode is on the it's on the circuit board. So I could flip them around and it would work the same. If there was a diode here, I would have marked it, taken pictures, and made sure I put them on the exact same order that they came off. Okay, so looks like a blue. Grab a tool here. Oh, no, that's a green. Okay, you can see that, these go in through a solid hole. These definitely have an adjustment, and they're all the way at the bottom. I took photographs just so I had it. Oh, yeah, there's one other thing I noticed, which is a little unusual. If you look right here, there's this little washer right here, and it's a brass washer. Okay, the reason it's brass is for magnetism. You can't magnetize brass. So that's cutting, if there's some kind of magnetic force holding these things together, that magnetic or that brass washer will prevent that from transferring and preventing it from sticking. My guess is there may be an issue. So definitely going to put that back in when I take it out. Okay, so I undid the four nuts holding it. I'm going to pull this out. Okay, here's that brass washer. I'm going to set that aside. We also have, so just notate how this thing comes apart, right? You got the top and the bottom. I'm not sure if these are identical or not, so make a note of it. The coil comes out directly like this. It's not 90 this way or 90 that way. I don't really think this thing matters, but it is going to matter when it's set into here. Pretty sure it has to go like this. And so these are all things I'm notating. Plus we got an E-clip holding down the spring. which goes into here. So you just take photographs of the whole thing, so when you put it back together again, it's the same. Okay, so here is the old like release pin. I don't know, what do they call this thing? Yeah, release pin. And it's broken. And then here's the new one. Now, I have to install it into this plunger, and it's put in here with a tension pin, okay? So I have to tap that out with one of these. And I don't have any kind of a setup that's specific for this. So I'm literally going to set it in my vise and tap it out onto a towel. So I'm going to pull out the E-clip because I need the flat surface. Oh, wow. That does not want to come out. There it goes. Okay, so I got the E-clip. That popped out. I'm just going to stick this on my vise here. And I'm going to tap this thing out with my baby hammer. And okay, like I said, I don't really have the right exactly the right tools to do this, but this is what I got. This is how I'm going to pop it out. So I'm using a nail punch, and just going to give it a few whacks here to try to get it out. And it is coming out. You can see that it popped out on that end a little bit. And I'm going to reuse that tension pin once I pop it out, assuming it doesn't go flying across the room and I can't find it again. I don't have to actually get it all the way out, just have to get it far enough to pop it out of the middle here. So it's almost there. Got most of it out. And once it's enough to release this trip lever, there, oh, I think I just went all the way. Yeah, it's all the way out. Okay, so I'm gonna take the old one out. Excuse me, and put the new one in. And let's hope my pin, yes it is, it's down here. Okay, now I'm putting the pin back in here. There we go. Okay, so I've pushed it in enough so I cannot feel it on either side. So if it has to go up and down inside of a plunger, that'll do it. So now let's reassemble this and see if she works. Okay, so I got the repaired trip lever. I put the washer back on. I have no idea if I can jam it up in here and assemble this correctly. Obviously, when it's broken, it comes off really easy, but let's just see if we can do this and without having to take apart the rest of the Gopher. I'm not going to bend anything super strong, but you never know. It might actually have enough leeway and play to get it in there, and it might not. So I'm all the way up at the top here. I have to get this up and over. Wow, it is really close, but not quite. I don't think it's gonna make it. Let's see here. I don't want to break anything. Wow, I might have to. I'm thinking I need to take off it looks like these 4 screws hold this. And then, yeah, I'm not sure here, but this is the joy of pinball. Otherwise, I think if I take the Gopher head off, it'll fall back, and then I can twist this in a little bit more. Okay, I think I'm just gonna take off the Gopher head and twist it and pop it in. Okay, so the Gopher's head is held on with this Allen and a nut on the other side. Of course, it doesn't have enough tension, so let's try to take the head off. I don't think that's the right size. Try this one. Oh, none of it seems to hold. One of these two has to be the right size. Let's see if I got an open end wrench on this thing. Okay, it's definitely going to be 3/8. There it goes. Come on. Remember, I'm just trying to get enough clearance for this. Okay, so now I'm taking the plastic off. Now that I've taken the plastic off, I should be able to slide this back enough to get into the channel. Okay, I screwed up. Yeah, it happens. It looks like it goes underneath this black plastic channel, so I definitely have to take that off. So let's do that. Like I said, I'm just doing this. I have no idea how to repair this, and I'm just doing the whole trial and error, I guess you'd call it. So let's take off these 4 screws and see what we got underneath. And then the black plastic channel apparently goes over it. Okay, first of all, let's put this aside. Okay. So, all right, so this comes off and out. Okay, I'm going to put this in here. I'm going to slide the channel over it. See what we got. Yeah, I know you can't see this, but I guess you can get the gist of my train of thought on how this is all working. Pinball repair's not, these weren't designed to be fixed, right? They were designed to play, and that's it. Okay, so now this looks like it's got a channel with a groove. I'm gonna slide that over it. See if it'll, okay, so this, okay, so I got to get this thing through this channel. Oh wow, this will be a fun one. I got to get this thing through here. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can do this without totally disassembling this entire thing. There it goes. There, it's in there. Now I got to somehow get this back into position without breaking it. Yeah, I think I might need to take off this whole extra assembly here. I don't think I can slide it back in. Yeah, I gotta take this out, and I can see there's some kind of little wire right here, so I gotta pay attention to that. Okay, this quick little fix has turned into a giant mess, which is what happens with pinball. So I need to take this off, which should slide this up. I can feel some kind of a tension spring right here, which probably has something to do with how the Gopher gets its head whacked. So I'm going to take this off so I can slide this plastic piece forward and then put this back on, and everything kind of lines up again. But I got to be very careful because I'm not exactly sure what's inside of this. It's kind of like an EM where it's like, oh, there's a tension spring in here. Don't unwind it or have it go flying across the room if you don't know what it is. Well, even if you know what it is, you probably don't want it to go flying across the room. Okay, so let's see what we got here. All right, nothing happened there. That's good. Oh, that gave me enough clearance to slide this over. I could slide this down now. Okay, I never messed with that pin in there. Oh, I didn't pay attention if this had an up or a down. Looks fine. This goes in the channel like that. Okay, I'm going to start reassembling this now. Okay, there's actually a groove in the plunger for this, which is what that black plastic piece slides into. So now I'm going to reassemble this portion. There. Going to put the head. Okay. So I just popped this off here, and okay, there's a spring in here. It looks like it's also attached with a tension spring, so it's not going anywhere. I don't want to break it. Oh boy. Oh, let's put this all back together again. Carefully. Okay, that's back in, that's back in. Push this down. Okay, now slide this back over. Goes the other way. Okay. Let's not do that again. And then we got to put the head back on. He goes right underneath the ramp. All right, and then put the Allen head screw through there. Put the Allen head screw back through the Gopher. Now I'm screwing these screws in, and they're going into a plastic receiver. So when you're putting these screws in here, whenever the receiving end is plastic, you do not over tighten that, because then you can't really repair it if you over tighten it. You can't tap out plastic. Well, I guess you can to the next size bigger, assuming you don't crack it, but that's a giant mess, and the odds of them having this part are probably not very high. Okay. So that's in, that's in, that's in. That's in. Now, I need to reassemble this. I got the washer in there. Oh, never put the E-clip back in. Put the E-clip back in. Okay, that's in. Put our spring. We got our top piece. Okay. Goes up in there. And now I got the old sleeve here, which is all super dirty. I got the new sleeve, nice and clean. Put this back in. I remember this was facing the same direction as the other coil. So that's going to go back in there. This will go back in the bottom. All right. And then I got my 4 nuts. And this was all the way down that way. So let's put all the nuts back on. Tighten it up. And then manually see if this thing works the way it's supposed to. Just on the bench anyway. Okay, so the way this thing works, oh, and then we put those two back on. But this is what lifts it up. It stays up, right? And he's like egg and yawn. And then when you either hit him, oh, okay, you hit him, and then I think this coil fires. Oh, it doesn't work. So I messed up something. So let's take a look again, what's going on. Okay, what I screwed up is this thing that holds his head on is actually supposed to go to the top of the coil. So I need to take this off, push it all back down, line it all up again, and redo this. So I took it apart, or I put the bolt, now it's going through the actual plunger and his head at the same time. Okay, now the way this device works is he's down, right? And to activate him, the game fires this coil, which then pushes him up and he stays in the up position. And then when you hit him, and Opto reads it, and you actually are not physically hitting him down, it's the game then fires this coil, which then pulls him down. Okay, so that's the part that was broken before, that little trip lever, that when it goes, it actually pushes this plastic back, which then lowers the Gopher. All right, so the true test is going to be to actually put this thing back in the game and see if it all works right. Okay, so I've installed the Gopher back in the game. I'm gonna go into test mode and just make sure that it all works. I do have the, I've disabled right Gopher up. And then let's see if right Gopher down works. Wherever that's at. Right Gopher down. Okay. So right Gopher down works. Left Gopher down works. Go back to right Gopher up. So he's working right. And then go back to down again. Okay. I'm going to just quickly go in the game. Start a game here. Oh no! That looked correct. Pretty sure I got it all figured out here. But let's just oh my goodness! How did I miss them 3 in a row? There we go. All right, and then lock it, and then for the right ramp. Yeah, he's working correctly. That's the whole thing here. Now he comes up, then you hit him. Oh, wow. Okay. And then goes back in there. Okay. Now I'm just gonna clean this game up and put her back for tournaments and play.